we can get some people to share some questions and see if we can hit them. The session will be an hour. The bathrooms are 5 meters away from your desk. We are recording the session, so everybody will get a link to the video and also to the deck as well. Angela, have I missed anything?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's start. Yes, let's go. Okay, cool. So the session is leverage ChatGPT for marketing success. So originally the session was about ChatGPT 4, and I realized that people don't really care between the difference between ChatGPT 3 and 4. Big difference is 4 is smarter and you can add more stuff to it. But I think what most people want out of this session is how they can use it for themselves. What I also realized while busy building the presentation was there's a lot of quick snippets being shared on LinkedIn, or like 72 ways to generate content and to do video AI. But none of the stuff really dives into how to use it properly and make it effective for you. So what we want to try and do is the exact opposite of that, is to take a few concepts and just dive a little bit deeper into it in terms of why you should use it and how to use it and how to use it well, because it's super easy. I think everybody signed up for ChatGPT and to use it, but to use it well is a skill, and that's quite new. So just a quick intro from me. So I've been in digital for about 15 years. I'm Google Analytics certified. I'm ex-ClickMaven and ex-Jellyfish as well. We work with some really nice clients in South Africa, like Curo and Virgin Active and beyond. So the agenda today, what are we going to cover? I've tweaked it slightly. So the first thing is I want to train ChatGPT to help you with marketing. So I'm going to give you an example of how to train ChatGPT to help you. So you are going to have your own instance that's built around your business or your training requirements. So I'm going to explain why this is important and how to do it as well. And I'm doing that. It's not as complicated as you think it is. It may be too simple for some people, and that's okay. But the idea is that's the underlying thing that we need to do for every other aspect. So the training of ChatGPT will then move on to the copywriting. Then we'll do advertising copy. Then we'll do like co-writing a marketing strategy. And then if we have time, we'll assist with interpreting your marketing data. So it can actually help you just read your data a little bit better or understand it. Okay, so we're gonna start. So we have load shedding again. So just firstly, before I start, we have another workshop happening on the 14th of June at 10 o'clock. So if you are interested in MarTech and the MarTech landscape and privacy, Marcel, please take note. I know this is a big thing for you guys at Google. So Maurits to present on marketing, MarTech next month. So Angela is going to share the link to this workshop. So just click on it, reserve your spot, and then Maurits will talk to us next month. Cool. Okay, so let's start talking about ChatGPT. So I'm going to share a lot of slides, and if it's I may then go back to ChatGPT and show you in the interface as well. What sometimes happens when you do live things is it doesn't work or it's slow, but I've got all the screen grabs here to show you how it works. But so firstly, just the concept of how to approach this. So the way we look at it is it's almost like a little tower that you have to build. So ChatGPT is the foundation of. Can everybody see my screen? Angela, can you see my screen?
I can, yes.
Okay, cool. So ChatGPT is a large language model. What it does is it's not sentient. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't like you or dislike you. It is all that it does is it statistically guesses what you want it to say next. That's it. That's all it is. So it is incredibly smart and incredibly stupid at the same time. So it's not it's not sentient. It statistically guesses which words to use next. So ChatGPT is the foundation, but it is incredible in terms of understanding and producing language. So the base is ChatGPT. That's the bottom part. Then what happens is, to get value out of it, is you have to train it a little bit. So you have to there's a nice word that you call prompt engineering. That's a technical word. I'm just going to call it training in this session. So it means, so for example, for us is, we train ChatGPT. We say, okay, you are NightJarr's ChatGPT bot, and we only want you to talk about marketing, and here are our services. So we spend time, and I'm going to show you an example now, to give ChatGPT the context of NightJarr before we start asking questions. So once that training goes on top of ChatGPT, and once that's done, you can ask it questions. And this sounds incredibly technical and complicated and perhaps code-driven, but it's not. I'll show you how it's done now. So ChatGPT, there's two interfaces when engaging or using ChatGPT. So the one interface that everybody knows is the one on the left. This is where you sign up for ChatGPT. You may have a free account, you may have the paid one, which they call ChatGPT Plus. Plus costs $20 a month at the moment. And what you do is you can type messages inside this box and you get the response. I think 99% of people on this call have already done that. So I don't think I need to explain a little bit more. What is important to explain is, if you want to use ChatGPT and you want to share proprietary or sensitive information, if you post stuff into this box, ChatGPT can use that information. So if you post and share sensitive marketing information or IP, that goes into their training model, and it might pop up. Some guy in Mexico or India could actually see that content, in a couple of months. So all the stuff I'm going to show you today is going to be using the interface because it's the easiest stuff. What it does mean is, when you share information with ChatGPT, is make sure it's not sensitive information. And if you share semi-sensitive information, don't put your company's name in there, so it doesn't associate NightJarr with, for example, specific copy. Okay, does this make sense? Just want a couple of thumbs ups to make sure that this makes sense. Okay, good. Other way to work with ChatGPT is using the API. So the API, imagine a pipe. It's like you build a pipe from your website or your environment through to ChatGPT. If you use an API, the nice thing about it is you can share confidential information that way, and ChatGPT won't use that on their end. So if you want to use and do a little bit more advanced stuff, use the API, but you do need to code. So it's like you need to use Python, for example, to send queries via API. Everything in this session, we're not going to dive into that because it's just too technical. So everything we're going to do is on the left-hand side, which you have access to. Okay. I'm also going to stick with using ChatGPT 3.5 because it's quicker, and all the free people will have access to it. ChatGPT is just 4 is smarter, and you can send more information, but for this instance, we don't really need it. Okay, so in terms of just like when you share information through that, they specifically say they will use the data for model improvement. So just take care of that. So your legal department is going to freak out when they see that. Okay, so coming back to the training, in terms of when you train ChatGPT, I'm going to show you how it's done now. The best analogy is like building a tower. So, for example, if we train it on NightJarr, we would go and say to ChatGPT, I'm going to share all the information about NightJarr and its services to you now. And then what's critical is, so for example, yeah, you are a marketing assistant for my company. Please focus on marketing, be friendly, courteous, and keep answers short. So we have now started training it. So when you post this into ChatGPT, you're saying to ChatGPT, please focus on marketing. So ChatGPT will then understand, oh, the context of all the stuff that's going to come later is related to marketing. And then you can also say what tone it needs to take and how verbose it should be. So in this instance, I said, be friendly, courteous, and keep answers short. So this is the start of training. This is the very first thing of training. So a critical thing when building a tower and busy training ChatGPT is to ask ChatGPT, is like, do you understand? Does this make sense? So it's the same. It comes back to this building of a tower. You put down the foundation, and then you say, is the foundation stable? Do you understand? And when ChatGPT comes back and says, yes, I understand, only then can you add the next level. Because when you say, do you understand, it's going to repeat what you've just given it. And if that doesn't make sense, it means that you haven't trained it correctly and you need to go back a step. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, just a few. Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you an example of how to train ChatGPT. So here is, let me actually share my screen. I'm going to share ChatGPT on the right-hand side.
30. Just a quick thing. So there are some people putting their hands up, but what I've said is they can post their questions in the comments channel. I'll be tracking those, and we will be going back to them at the end of the session. That is correct, yes?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Perfect.
So at the end of this section, we can actually stop and do it. So this is the interface, and this is one of the training sections that I did for a client of ours, where what I basically did was I said, so this is for Curo school. So they said, you are, so I trained it here. So you are Curo marketing assistant board. Your role is to provide marketing advice to school marketers. Do you understand? Very important that if that's the only thing you get from the session is just check for clarity when you engage with ChatGPT. That would be a successful session. Yes, I understand. My role as a marketing assistant bot is to provide marketing advice to school marketers. Please let me know how I can assist you. So this means that it understands its role now. Then I go, I'm going to share background information on Curo. Is this okay? Yes, please go ahead and provide information. And then what I do is I go and I get the information that's in the public domain. So this is not sensitive. This is in the annual financial results and on the website. So here I'm sharing the background to Curo. And then what happens is it then goes, oh yes, okay, I can see that. And then I share more information. It says thank you. And then I share more information. And then it says thank you. And then I share more information. So do you understand? So this is what it means to train ChatGPT. So in your instance, if you, for example, do training, you go and say, you are the training assistant bot for me. I work at a software company and you need to help me to come up with training material. Do you understand? Yes. Okay, cool. This is the training material that we have used in the past. Cut and paste it in. Enter. Does this make sense? Yes, it makes sense. Okay. Yeah, give it more material. So like give it all the information that you can. So the better you and the longer you train it, the more background information ChatGPT has got on your business. And then what happens at the end of it all is you've spent, I don't know, half an hour to train this thing. And then you can ask it questions about the business. So for example, in this instance, I even shared some of the staff people. So I'd say, who is responsible for marketing at Curo? Here we go. So now it's spitting out all the people that I've shared with train it on. So you can then go and say, so this thing is now ready for you to do the copywriting, to do the ad copy generation, to do the SEO copy. So I'm going to go into those specific segments now. But this is very important, is that the training needs to happen before you ask it any further questions and you use it like that. So in terms of the training data, we're going to see if there's any questions now. So suggestions for training data is website copy, marketing assets, strategy, values, history, so this stuff can be sensitive, so be careful with this stuff. Ideal customer profile, all your products, all your services. Share all this information with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will then be like ready for you to start with copywriting and ads and stuff, which I'm going to show you now. Cool. Any questions, Angela?
I think we just had 2 hands raised. I missed the first person. I think it was Matthew Stain, and then it was Margot Schonenberger who also raised her hand.
Okay, do you want to unmute and ask a question?
Mine was accidental. I was actually trying to put the reaction, so I have no questions at this point.
Okay. Any other questions?
Pragma has raised her hand.
Okay.
I would just like to understand, thank you. When you say you train it, everything that you do in this specific chat will then relate to how you've set it up for that chat. There's no way that it will remember it when I come in tomorrow and I want to do something different using some of the same material. Do I need to go through the process each time again?
Great question. So if it's just you using it, then you can use this interface. So this marketing copilot that I built for Kiro was done about a month ago. So whenever I log into this interface, that chat there on the left-hand side remains there. So so what happens is if I then go back to that chat, I can ask it contextual questions in terms of the training instance that I've done here. So if it's one person, it saves it. It saves this history, and you can just go and use it again. If you have a team, you can either share a login, which is obviously there's complications around that. If you're like a small team, that's okay. If you are a bigger company, then I would advise using an API, because then you can train it you can train it in the background and give everybody a specific branded interface for this. Does that make sense? It's a little bit more complicated. If you want, I'm going to share a link later where we can continue chatting about this if you want.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cool. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, let me continue. Okay, copywriting. So now we've done the training. So in terms of copywriting, the old approach before ChatGPT was we spent a little bit of time giving creative direction, and then writing the articles was an enormously time-consuming manual writing process. So this is what everybody did until ChatGPT arrived. So the new approach in terms of ChatGPT is ChatGPT takes care of the manual writing aspect here. But what's critical and where the value now lies is giving creative direction in terms of copywriting. So I'm going to dive into that now. But this section, you have way more time now to do that. The manual writing is much quicker, and ChatGPT takes care of that. And then there's a big editing element. So the focus in terms of copywriting has shifted away from the manual production of copywriting into a more strategic and creative role. So let me give you an example of that. So if you use creative direction to write copy, you will be successful like that. Or if you're not a really good marketer, then you won't be successful. But if you apply creative direction, success. If you apply creative direction plus ChatGPT, so it does the manual aspect, it's like way quicker success. So you can cut that out. If you just use ChatGPT, you are hallucinating. Like the result is going to be whatever ChatGPT comes up with is going to be like all over the place. So just be aware of that in terms of if you think so, because I see a lot of posts on LinkedIn where you go 7 seconds to launch a new product, and then they type this thing into AI and it spits out an image and spits out copy, and like it's cute, but if there's no strategic thought and no creative direction to it, it's like it comes up with just the most random stuff. So just be aware of that. So it's a quick, if you just use ChatGPT, it's a quick hallucinating result, but it's not strategic. So just be aware of that. So in terms of copywriting, so again, like this principle applies. You need this, you need the training, and then you can start doing the copywriting and ask it questions. So for example, once you've done all that training, you can then for example, website copy, you can then go, please summarize what we do in a headline. Please summarize our services in 4 pillars. Please provide 5 alternatives. So once all of this work has been done in terms of creating this marketing co-pilot, I can then say, please summarize Curo's services in 20 words. And because I've trained it, it is now incredibly easy to go and get that. So now you can go, I don't know about this, like, can you please provide 5 alternatives? And then it can, what it's very good at is to come up with alternatives. So what happens to me is I have an idea of what I want to do, and obviously the market and the messaging, and then I sort of run out of steam in terms of ideas or different ways of doing it. And what ChatGPT is very good at, if you've already trained it, is it can just lightningly quick provide you with alternatives. So for example, because it's trained now, you can also say, please write a page about the values of Curo in at the school in Bloemfontein. Let's see. Assume there is a school. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. So there you go. So so as I said again, it can come up, it can very quickly do the manual work for you, but it's very important that you then edit it so that it's suitable to your audience. Okay, so again, like, it removes the grunt work from copywriting. So that's website, for example. In terms of social prompts, once you've trained it again and you need to write a LinkedIn post, give it very clear and good instructions. Please write a LinkedIn post about X to X audience and keep it to 200 characters and use the hashtag life insurance and financial services. For example, for the training people, once you've done the training, please write the training manual or the notes for this course, and it can give that to you. If, for example, you want to create a questionnaire, like an essay, like a test for the training people, please provide me with 20 questions on how to test different people. So I don't think I need to dive further deeper into this, because I think the concept is more important than the actual tactics here. Like, if you can train it correctly, then it's quite easy to prompt it to come up with the content that you may find useful. Does that make sense? Any questions around that?
We have 2 questions so far. So the first one's from Sarah Griffiths. Does the platform respond to polite questions better than not?
Just because I'm a good Afrikaans boy, I ask please, and then it's courteous back, but that's just habit. But it's not sentient. So what you can do is you can define the tone. So what is interesting is I can say, please rewrite in a friendlier, informal voice. So your brand voice, you can program it for your brand voice as well. So if you are a friendly, informal business, you can prompt it for that. So you can say, like, hi, welcome to Curo Bloemfontein. We believe in creating super cool and awesome environment for your students to go and thrive. So if that's your tone, you can prompt it for that. Yes. I don't know if that answer your question. What was the other question?
The other one was from Megan Thomas. So in terms of SEO, how does the Google algorithm handle content written by AI?
That's the next topic. Let's talk about that. Excellent question. SEO. Okay, let's talk about that. Oh, Marcel, you're gonna love this. Sorry, Marcel works at Google, so this is his favorite thing in the world. Sorry, Marcel, I'm playing nice. I'm not. I won't share any bad black hat stuff. So first thing that Marcel and Google team knows is there's going to be an absolute tsunami of content coming because of ChatGPT. So Google is going to have to, like as usual, filter through all of this new crap, frankly, to determine what is valuable or not. So let me show you what's important and what's not. Okay, so this is bad. So as a prompt, please write an SEO article with 400 words around the topic life insurance and use the keyword life insurance 5 times. Please don't do this. Like, this is an absolute waste of time. Okay, let's go back to some of the principles on again, using ChatGPT as a co-pilot. ChatGPT will do all the work. So the first thing, again, is creative direction. So go and do some demand research. So like, what are people looking for? So in SEO, this is called keyword research. So just go and find out what people are looking for. What do they want to know? Do they want to know about load shedding? Do they want to know about batteries? So for example, we did research on MarTech in South Africa in our space, and we found that people want to know about the MarTech landscape and what is it. They're not ready to talk about privacy yet. So understanding what your audience looks like is important. So that's the first thing. The second thing is go and see what else is out there. If you like, there's probably 50 articles out there on what is life insurance. Don't write another one. Like, you're wasting your time and the audience. So go and create something unique. And then the third thing is to flesh the article out yourself. Like, you have valuable IP and knowledge. Like, put in the why, what, now, how, when, etc. And once you've done that part, then you can use ChatGPT to generate, again, do the manual work and to edit it. So, but there's some more stuff that's important. So Google, there's a wonderful thing called what they call EAT. So it's like this the way that they look at content online. So let me unpack it a little bit. So the first thing that Google looks at. So Google does have bots that obviously spider and scan the website, but they also have users that review the sites. So the first thing in this acronym is called experience. So what you need to do is demonstrate the creator, which is the author, first-hand experience with the subject matter. That's the first thing. So this thing needs to be valuable. Expertise. Is the author, do they have the knowledge, qualifications, and credentials required to give reliable information? If you're not a financial service provider, like, you can't really talk about life insurance. Simple as that. Authority. What is the author's reputation in the industry? So, are they new, or have they been in this space for 10 years? Like, do they know what they're talking about? And then trust. Be clear about who wrote the content, edit for factual accuracy, and cite trustworthy sources. Okay, so these are the 4 things that you need to be aware of. So practically, I've got another slide that explains what to do. So under experience, write something unique and valuable. That's that first slide that I said. The second one, expertise. If you write an article online, you have to put down who wrote the article. It was written by Ferry Bester, linking to his LinkedIn profile, or having an author bio on the website to say, like, yes, he's got 15 years experience, or no, he's got 1, so he's an intern. So it's important to put the author there. The third one is authority. So if you write something really valuable, people may link to it from the industry, and then Google goes, "Whoa, okay, this is worthwhile." And then the fourth one is trust. It's like, you must be factually correct, and you must cite trustworthy sources. So if you use a stat from an academic journal, link to the academic journal, because people go through this to review it. The other thing that's very important is Bing bot and Google's AI search engine results page is also going live. I don't know when in South Africa. Marcel, maybe you can share that in the chat. Is remember that the search results from the Bing bot. Bing has launched a chatbot. I think everybody knows that. Google is about to launch one as well. The same principles for SEO, so the bots and the page getting indexed, it's the same principles that apply for answers that's being given by the Bing bot and the Google bot coming as well. So just make sure the website is indexed, etc. Okay. Any questions around SEO? There should be loads. Everybody is always interested in SEO.
There's nothing in the comments section, but if anybody wants to unmute and ask directly, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, let's move on then. Nice. Cool, advertising copy. So let me explain, let me dive into that. So the first thing about advertising copy, I was thinking about this advertising copy thing, and the question popped in my mind: who cares? Like, who cares about ChatGPT and advertising copy? And what I realized or re-realized was the cost per click. I think everybody on the call knows what a cost per click is. So when your ad is shown and somebody clicks on the link, you pay Google or Facebook a cost per click. So everybody understands that. But there's something that's really important. You actually pay for the ad being placed. So, and if your click-through rate, so the amount of people that click on your ad, is higher, was better than a non-performing ad, you actually pay less per click. So let me explain that. So there's a concept called A/B split testing. So I've got an ad, the blue ad, and I've got a black ad. So the blue ad is, I get 1% of people that see it click on it, so I get 1 click. So I pay 100 Rand for this ad. 1% click on it, so if 2% of the people click on that ad, I get 2 clicks. But remember, I paid the same amount for that ad. That's how it works. So if I get 2 clicks, it basically means that the CPC, the cost per click, is 50% lower. Because in how all the advertising platforms work is they say they work on a cost per click, but they actually it's based on the number of times an ad is shown, which is called the CPM rate. So if you have a better ad, you will get 2 clicks instead of 1, which means that your cost per click is 50% lower. So imagine your advertising cost being 50% lower. That is enormous. That's like a big change. So the way to do this is to test the ad. So you test blue ads and you test black ads. The problem with ads are they are very difficult and time consuming. So this is where ChatGPT comes into play. Is ChatGPT can help you come up with alternatives so that you can run these A/B split tests. Does this make sense? I need at least 5 thumbs up if I'm going to continue. Okay, good. Okay, so that's why using ChatGPT for advertising copy is a good idea. It's because you're gonna get that optimization. So for the technical people in the room, so the cost per click equals the cost per impression times the click-through rate. And this click-through rate that I said there, you get 2 clicks, two clicks out of 100 views, is determined by the quality of your ad. So you can't control this cost per impression, but you can control the click-through rate. And that's determined by the quality of your ads, multiple ads. That's why I made it yellow. So for example, in Google Ad search, you can provide, so this is the ad in Google Ads. You can provide up to 15 headlines and 4 descriptions. So what it does is it then mixes and matches these headlines and descriptions and comes up with the best combination for your ad. Okay. So, and it becomes incredibly tedious to write 15 headlines. I've tried it. Oh my word, like it drives me nuts. So ChatGPT can help you to generate those. So you write 2, and then you say, please generate 15 more. But again, make sure that the model has already been trained. So you can do this with Google Ads search. You can do this Google Ads responsive display ads as well. So this is the visual banner. So you can have 5 short headlines, 1 long headline, 5 descriptions. So it can then it can help you generate this copy, and Google will then test the best ones. Okay, because if you can get the winning and the best performing one, that happens. Your cost per click goes down by 50%. So that's why this is so useful to do. Same applies to Facebook. Have multiple ads. And so this allows you to create and test more ads so that you can actually reduce your cost per click. Okay, right. This is an example of the prompt that you can use. So you train it, and what you then do is you can say, so if you go back to the Cura thing, please write 5. Remember, we've trained it already. 5 Google Ads search ads for Kiro Bloemfontein. Okay, so I'm being naughty because I'm not going to give it any dimensions or limits in terms of the characters. But let's see what it comes up with. There you go. So it came up with the correct search ad title. And I think it's actually got the number of characters, got it there. Okay. Right. Again, super important. Train it first before you use it, because it's going to save you a lot of time and make the responses much smarter. Okay. Again. All right. Does this make sense? Need some thumbs ups. Okay. Does it make sense? Okay, cool. Yes. Any questions? Yaku, I think you raised your hand, but maybe incorrectly.
I wanted to do a thumbs up.
Okay, UX expert got the interface wrong. That's
completely.
Okay, Angela, any other questions in the chat?
No. Oh, hang on. Megan, with ChatGPT only having access to information pre-2021, is the content relating to advertising copy best practices outdated?
Well, the copy, great question. The copy best practices, I don't think it could have changed that much since 2021, frankly. That's the first thing. The ad formats may have changed. So I'll give you an example of how to handle that. So if you enter and you say, like, please create text search ads, and it spits out the wrong, headline length and the wrong description, just say, please limit the headline to 70 characters. Please limit the description to 120 characters. So remember, if anything is out of date, you can teach it. You can say, oh, I know your information is incorrect, Mr. ChatGPT. This is the new dimensions of an ad. This is the new character limits. It'll then remember that, and then it'll spit out the new ones for you. So, for example, let's say you are doing TikTok advertising. So, TikTok's ad formats are like still being tested and stuff. So train it. Go and get the manual. Go and download the manual from TikTok and paste it into the thing. Go and say, I'm going to share TikTok's advertising specs with you. Do you understand? Very important. Enter. Yes, I understand. You cut and paste it in. And say, do you understand? Yes, I understand. Then you say, please create a TikTok video ad for me using this and this copy. And it should spit it out correctly for you. Does it make sense? Another question.
Leanne Pillay had she's got her hand up.
Hi, Fadi. Thanks for that. I just wanted to find out, obviously in the previous session, you discussed the fact that I think somebody else had asked about, the similar copy getting used and the difference that the AI is obviously giving different brands. When it comes to search ads and the descriptions and headlines, if you're working in a very similar industry, so let's just say we're in fintech and another fintech company in South Africa now is prompting it, and our services and things like that are all the same. Are you guys, and I don't know if you have the question or the answer, but are you guys seeing some sort of effect when it comes to search ads and the cost and that bidding against each other?
Well, if everybody is testing new versions of copy, I'm sorry, I heard a great quote. Let me share the quote. So, marketers using AI is going to replace marketers that don't use AI. Ads that use AI is going to replace ads that don't use AI. I hope that makes sense. So what ChatGPT enables is everybody is obviously, there's a bit of an arms race now at the moment. So everybody's going to start testing new ad combinations and new text combinations. So I think the edge at the moment, if you don't use it, you're going to fall behind. You won't be able to scale in terms of the number of variations. And the edge goes back to creativity. It's like if you have the best creative direction, if you have the best product, if you have the best value proposition, if you have the clearest value proposition, you will still win again. So if you use the combination of the creative direction plus the scalability and the speed of ChatGPT, you're in contention. If you don't use it, the competition is going to, just outscale you just because they can test more stuff. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any more questions?
We've got one from Gillian. With the launch of Bard, is it not better to use it rather than ChatGPT?
Oh, Marcel, are you still on the call?
No comment from my side.
So Marcel works at Google. So Bard isn't available in South Africa yet, Marcel, is it?
It is. Yeah, you can use it.
Is it? Okay. I don't know. I don't really wanna get into so I did watch a video where Marcel was comparing Bard with Google's Bard, and it was head to head. I think that the API that open ChatGPT has, that you can connect directly with it, I think gives it a commercial edge at the moment. So if you have confidential proprietary information and you want to share it with a large language model like Bard or ChatGPT, then I would rather use OpenAI's language model. I don't know in terms of functionality how they compete at the moment. So I think the big change is going to happen when Google goes live with Bard in the search engine results page. I think that's going to be quite interesting. So I think the use case depends on the use. So I haven't used Bard actually yet, but yeah, I think Bing is interesting because it's got the internet is indexed and it's a little bit more up to date, but it can provide incorrect information. So I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Angela, we've got 13 minutes left. Should I continue and then let's do the next questions at the end?
Okay, sure.
Okay. So just something. If you want help to deploy ChatGPT or build this marketing copilot or help with ad creation assistance, I'm just going to share a link to my calendar. I'm here a few slots this week, and then next week I'm in London. So if you do want to have a chat, like a free 30-minute session, let me know. It would be nice to meet you. Right, go write the marketing strategy. So I'm gonna breeze through this one because I think you understand the principles of copywriting and generating copy now. But again, the principle of you have to train this thing. You can't build you can't ask ChatGPT to build your marketing strategy if you haven't given it any context. It's just gonna hallucinate. So please write me a marketing strategy. You are going to get the most generic thing in the world. But if you need a template for marketing strategy, that's a good start. What you can do is once you've trained it, you can have it generate structure for you and copy. So for example, once you've trained, you can say, please write the marketing strategies which focuses on, and then you share the stuff that you believe is more important. Otherwise, it's going to hallucinate. It's going to come up with random stuff. Open days using Facebook ads organic, Google ads targeting schools, billboards, reference incentive, and then you need to tell it how big the thing should look like and what does the activity look like per month. So it's very important when you want to produce such a chunky piece of content, you need to put the guardrails in quite soon and spend a lot of time in editing it. You can also use it for more complicated things. So you can like, please create a marketing plan for me. Total budget is this. Please increase the spend by 20% over weekends, etc. So it's quite good, but it's very important that, again, you need to provide the creative direction. It won't write the thing for you. I mean, from a strategic point of view. So what it's good with is, oh, my manager asked for 5-page marketing strategy. If you are that manager, don't do that. And B, if you're the person reporting into the manager, like if you want streams of boring filler copy, it's brilliant at that. Days and it can publish a book for you if you want. It's very good with generating ideas. So like if you run out of ideas in terms of what to do, it's very good at generating ideas for you. That has happened in the past from the web. It's very good at expanding on definitions and how-tos. And I'll give you an example. So Kiro, so they have 178 schools in the country, and each one of them have a marketing person with different levels of expertise. And being able to provide them with a marketing co-pilot where they can confidentially ask questions. So like, how does CPC stand for? What does CPM stand for? How does Facebook advertising work? That's amazing. Like it can really help you with that. And it can obviously help you with formatting and shortening. But it is bad with strategic insight. Like it can automate and generate this, but it's not going to give you this brilliant insight to help you. And it doesn't understand your audience. So you need to share your product and your audience information with it. And then it will never be able to generate truly new ideas. So it just, remember, it's the statistical model. It guesses what you want it to say next. So if that thing has never been done before, it can't do it because it just doesn't have the capacity for it. Does that make sense? Any questions? Angela, any questions?
No, not at the moment.
I think we're running we have about 9 minutes left. So I don't know if I should cover this ChatGPT and your marketing data. Are there any so we switch to Q&A. Well, let me quickly share this. So one of the other things, I'm going to spend 3 minutes on this, is one of the other things that you can do with ChatGPT is help you interpret your marketing data. So if you follow this model again, what you need to do is you need to train ChatGPT a little bit on your marketing data. So you need to share some of your marketing data with ChatGPT. Again, it's sensitive information, so just be careful. And then you can actually ask it questions. So I'll give you an example quickly of one. This is our Google Analytics 4 data that's available in our Google Analytics. So it lists where we got some clicks from. So NightJarr, direct from email, cost per click, Google SEO, email, etc. So it lists the users, and then it lists the workshop registrations as well, like where people registered from. And when we download this from Google, if you download it there as a CSV format, what happens is it shares it in this format here. So you can then see, this is a slightly different data set, but this is the data that you can get from your Google Analytics. And what you can then do is you can cut and paste this directly into ChatGPT. And you can then ask it questions about that data. So for example, so you cut and paste it in, and then and it looks like this. It's like weird. It's just you cut it and paste. And what you can then do is you can ask it questions. You can say, there was one example here. I can quickly show you. So here I shared the data with ChatGPT. And then I asked it, how many clicks did we get from organic search? And it can actually tell you like where you got your clicks from. So for example, if I ask it, where did I get registrations from? It should be able to, let's see what it comes up with. Email, ChatGPT webinar link, 3 registrations, direct, 11 registrations. So that's going to help you interpret data if you struggle with reading it in the interface. Okay. Nice. That is, let's do Q&A. We have 6 minutes left.
Okay, so 2 questions we have. One was from a little bit earlier on from Kevishan. What are the chances of competitors ending up with the same or similar content?
Excellent question. So how the model works is firstly, it changes all the time. It improves all the time. So when I do a query today, I'm probably not going to get the same result as tomorrow. That's the first thing, because the model changes all the time. The second important thing is it statistically determines what is the next word. So if you go, please give me a definition of Facebook ads, it's going to think of like what are the next words. So it's like this times this times this times this. These are the words, and it pops out a result. If you ask the exact same question a day later, it's going to run through again like this model where it like chooses which words to work to display. So it ends up in a different place. So most of the time when you start a new query, it's going to give you it runs through this algorithm and it generates it and it ends up at a place. And this one it's also going to do this. So the chances of you ending up in the same place is lowish. If you train it though, if you go like you are a training bot or you are a software engineer or you are a project management bot, it's not going to produce the same information. So that's why training it is so critical. It is very important. It's going to save you an enormous amount of time. And you're going to get a relevant, unique output as well. Any more questions?
All right, so we've got one from Nadine, and then we've got 2 from Megan Thomas. Nadine is asking, can you ask it to forget information if you've shared sensitive data?
Oh, I don't know. That is a great question. I don't know. Frankly, I don't know. I know there's a form you can also fill out on the site to say like you don't want them to use your data. That's a great question. I don't know. So if you do have sensitive information, obviously use the API. So I think that's a good start. One of the ways that we use to play around with it, because it's nice building pilots and things, because like going the API route is expensive, is we use like clandestine, we use like code names. I would say NightJarr, I won't use the word NightJarr, I would use the word fish eagle, or I'd use the word donkey. So it's like donkey is a digital marketing agency, and train it on donkey. So it sort of just adds a little bit of layer of to not identify the information with you. Next question.
Okay, so Megan is the first question is, do you think that the free versions will come to an end, and would it be a tool recommended for companies to use going forward? The second question is, in terms of use or purchase, what is the difference between 3.5 and 4?
Okay, good question. So Firstly, I think large language models are going to become the new bandwidth, the new oil, the new electricity. It's like it's going to become this commodity, or not commodity. It's going to become this utility. It's like it's going to be this infrastructure base that that lots of stuff is going to get built onto. So it's going to be there, and it's going to be in different formats. So some of them, so Bingbot is free, Google's Bard is free. If you use the API, then you pay for it. So no, I don't think there's always going to be free versions of it. So in some instance, but there's a price you pay. If you don't paying for something, you are the product. Just always remember that. So that's the first thing. In terms of should companies be using it, my quote before: companies that use AI will replace companies that don't use AI. This thing is truly transformational. And then the last question was, what's the difference between ChatGPT 3.5 and 4? So with 3.5, so firstly, 4 is much smarter than 3.5. It's just been trained on bigger data sets, so it is smarter. It's better with abstract stuff. It is much slower than 3.5. So like 3.5 is incredibly quick, and 4 is slow. And then the other thing is, for 3.5, you can, let's say, I can't remember exact, but you can give it, let's say, 400 words at a time. And then ChatGPT, you can give 4,000 words at a time. So the training speed with ChatGPT 4 could be quite bigger. To be frank, like we still use ChatGPT 3.5. It's like it's still a phenomenal language model. So play with 4, but in terms of, I think a bigger upgrade would be to say use 3.5 with training, the training stuff that we spoke about today, than to use 4. Like rather just train 3.5 first, get to that level, and then you can do 4. I don't know. That's what I think at the moment. Oh, and 4 can also pick up images, but there's no interface to send an image to ChatGPT 4, so that's a bit weird at the moment. Cool. Any other questions?
We've got 2 more. So one from Rain and one from Tessa. Rain is saying, do you have a list of steps on how to train it?
I can share the principles. So one is obviously share the data that you have available, the public domain data, and always ask for clarity. It's like building a tower. You give it like the About Us page, and you go, do you understand? Give it the services page copy. Do you understand? Give it the product and the customer information. Do you understand? So that's the steps. That's the principal steps that you can use. If you want to see more examples, like grab a time slot and let's chat about it. Angela, you did share that link.
The SEO, the SEM Rush one, the SEO article.
The calendar.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, those I've sent. I posted them twice. I'll post them again at the end.
Okay.
Just
Alice,
as a reminder.
Any other questions?
So the last one is, in terms of language use, can you ask it to use UK English and no Americanisms and
Yes.
American expressions?
Yes, you can even ask it to it can even help you in Zulu, it can help you in Afrikaans. So if you say to it, you are on Afrikaans board, and you were one part of the foot trackers and you went over the Drakensberg, it can give you a rusk recipe in Afrikaans. Like, it is phenomenal. If, for example, so we had a very interesting question in the last call about like the Western-centric training information that's been trained on. And the question was like, so is it going to give Western-centric, or is it going to give like African-centric, or is it going to give Eastern-centric? It all depends on the training. So if, for example, you want a specific cultural bot, train it. Give it like literature on the language. The more you train it, it'll then learn, oh, okay, this is Zulu, or this is like Tswana, or this is, I don't know, I made a mistake in Afrikaans there, like here's the correct spelling. So you can train it. This thing is trainable. You can teach it. So any more questions?
That seems to be everything from my side. Yeah, there's nothing in the chats. Just lots of great feedback.
Okay, cool. Thanks, everybody. We hope this was it sounds like it was a valuable session. We are going to share the deck. We will share the recording. I see Tessa has asked a question. Like grab a calendar slot if you want. I'm not available next week, so the week after I'm available again. What else, Angela? Is my and Angela's email address if you just want to post that on as well if you have any specific questions.
We've got that SEO article, but I'll include that in the email when I send out the deck and what have you. We'll also include your calendar link in that as well.
Okay, cool. And then there was the last question. Did Megan ask a question? There was a question.
I think it was Tessa. Can you feed a bit of your writing into the system and ask it to write like you do?
Yes, yes, you can. Yeah, you can. Let me share my screen quickly and show you something crazy. You can do that. So, for example, let's go to website, this marketing copilot one. So this one was trained on Cura data. So I can then please write a summary of Bloemfontein's school in the tone of Donald Trump. So look at that. So you can program it to what you want. So it's the best school you've ever seen. Believe me, it's tremendous, folks. Absolutely tremendous. Anyway, so yes, you can. You share your tone. So if you take a lot of copy that's in your tone, you can say like, please, I'm going to share a lot of copy and writing style in the tone of our company. You share it, train it, give it to him. Do you understand? And then test it. Go like, please rewrite this copy in the tone of our friendly, slightly obnoxious tone, and then it's going to spit it out for you. Yes. All right. Angela, I think we can stop the recording now and like.
I'm just posting the last comments. Okay,
so education.
So I'm just going to put the upcoming webinar link back in again, and I have shared our email addresses with everyone as well, so you don't have to scroll all the way up to the top.
Okay, cool. Any last question, or can we wrap up? Anybody else? No, Marita, Adam, Marguerite, Nadine, Silke, Allison. No. Okay, cool. All right. I thank you for joining, and then have a look at the next webinar. Next webinar. Oh, sorry, it's raised hand. Or was it somebody that wanted to? Right. If you, when is the next one? It is on the. Let me share the link. Let me share my screen for the next webinar.
So it's on the 14th of June, same time, 10 to 11. And Gillian, you also asked when we'll be sending the recording out. It'll be later this week.
Okay. So here we go. Yes, the next workshop. So on the 14th of June at 10 o'clock a.m. So we are going to cover the marketing landscape in South Africa. So what is it? What are the benefits? We're going to talk about Google. I hope Marcel joins or not. I don't know yet. We'll make it politically correct. We're going to talk about marketing analytics. So I know people that use Google Analytics Google Analytics may be concerned about what's going to happen. Google Analytics 3 being switched off. We're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about first-party data and the privacy issues that's brewing in Europe. And Moritz will present it. So just go and reserve your spot, and we'll make it very relevant and valuable. All right, cool. Let's. I'm gonna drop off. Thank you for
Thanks,
hosting.
Fadi.
Thanks, Danae. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mo. See you at the next workshop.
Cheers, everyone.
Thanks, Fadi. Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. It's a wrap.
Ciao, ciao.